Welcome to the Mountain View Montessori Charter School New and Prospective Parent Information Meeting and Presentation. We are excited to let you know about our program, the Montessori method, and some key information about our school. So just a brief introduction of myself. This is Miss Tanya. I am the proud principal of Mountain View Montessori Charter School. This is now my 14th year here at the school. Prior to coming here, I was a Montessori preschool owner and lead teacher, then started here as an instructional aide in lower elementary 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, then transitioned to a lead TK kinder position for 4 years, became an interim principal at the end of my 4th year of teaching, and now I have been the proud principal here at Mountain View Montessori since 2017. So today's presentation will include a history of Montessori education, a brief history of Mountain View Montessori, characteristics of a Montessori classroom, some considerations if Montessori is a good fit for your family or for your child, a little bit about our enrollment process, and a picture tour of our school and classrooms. So, in a nutshell, Montessori is an educational system that supports the physical, social, emotional, and cognitive development of the individual child, focusing on the whole child. It bears the name of its originator, Dr. Maria Montessori. So back in the early 1900s, Dr. Montessori, who was actually one of the first female physicians, MDs, in Italy, helped to design a new approach to education in the hopes of improving education for all children. As a true scientist, Dr. Montessori did conduct some scientific experiments with what used to be deemed as the defective students or children in one of the hospitals. And in conducting these experiments, she started to find that a lot of these children that were deemed defective and that society had thrown away were still capable of learning, but not in a traditional rote memorization way. They needed hands-on learning. She even observed them sorting little fuzzballs on the floor from the smallest to the largest, and they were craving stimuli. So because of all of her work in education and using materials from Itard and Seguin and some other early educators and proponents of child development, she was able to establish the first Montessori school in 1907 in a low-income area of San Lorenzo, Rome. And the first Montessori preschool was called Casa di Bambini, which translates in Italian to the children's house. The most distinct elements of Montessori educational programs are mixed-age classrooms, students having a choice of activities from within a prescribed range of options, which we consider freedom within limits, and uninterrupted blocks of work time, called work period, and that time having a discovery model in which students are learning concepts through working with hands-on learning materials. So since 1907, Dr. Montessori's philosophy, her materials, practices have spread around the world and have been implemented in a variety of cultural settings. There are over at least 4,000 certified private Montessori schools and over 400 public Montessori schools in the United States. Mountain View Montessori is one of over 40 Montessori public charter schools in California. We are the only one in this local area. However, there's a greater concentration in the Sacramento area, as well as some more in Orange County and San Diego. So one of the most beautiful things about our program are our kinesthetic learning materials, our Montessori materials. So there is a specific sequential progression of learning materials. So typically we'll introduce small sets of concepts to students. For example, if we're teaching concepts of numbers, we will usually start 0 through 3, and once a student has mastered that, then we'll add on 4 through 6, then 7 through 9. So we'll chunk it into smaller groups and keep adding on to make sure that we're reviewing the information, but not giving them too much to learn all at once. So the sequential progression of our learning materials does definitely go from something a little bit more simplistic, less complex, and then we build in that complexity. These materials are multisensory, which help to address all learning styles. So when we teach a Montessori lesson with the materials, we can reach our visual learners because they can see the lesson, our auditory learners as we speak through and introduce vocabulary and how to work with the materials, and then our kinesthetic learners, our learners who learn by doing, are able to touch and manipulate the materials. And then the materials move from concrete, hands-on, to more abstract concepts. So we always use our Montessori materials as a bridge for learning, but not as a crutch. So once a student is capable of partially or fully working abstractly with a concept, especially in math, we want to make sure that we don't hinder their learning by giving them manipulatives that slow them down. Many of our materials are also self-correcting, which allows the students to independently notice and correct their errors. The picture that we have up here is our 45 layout, which has all of our unit beads and unit cards, our tens, our hundreds, and our 1,000 cubes. And this is an example of a self-correcting material. So as the students walk away and they notice that the number of beads on the mat aren't progressively getting larger, or that the towers here of the 1,000 cubes, that there's some sort of a dip, that'll give them a visual cue that they need to go and fix that before an adult actually notices their error. And then our materials are placed on shelves for easy access by all of our students. Here is an example of that learning progression. So we first introduce counting with our short bead stair here, our colored bead bars. And as I had said, typically we'll introduce, if students don't have any number sense or they're having difficulty with counting, we'll chunk from 0 to 3, then 4, 2, 6, and then 7 through 9. Once we know they can successfully count 1 to 1 and they're not double counting or skipping over beads or other manipulatives, then we teach them the numerical symbol. And so we use the numeral, and once we know that they know, 0 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and some of our materials include 10, then we have them pair up the abstract numeral with the physical quantity. Once they've been able to demonstrate mastery of knowing their numbers 1 through 10 through using many different forms of Montessori materials, then we extend the complexity of that and we start building onto their knowledge of teens. So how we compose and decompose teen numbers. So for example, a 15 is a 10 and a 5, and we can also decompose, or if we have a 1 and a 9 together, 1, 10, and 9 units, that together makes the number 19. Once we know that they've mastered their tens and units for teens, then we move them on to something more complex where they are building numbers with our golden beads here from 11 to 99, all those different combinations. So once we know that they've mastered 11 to 99, then we introduce them into 100. And then we also introduce them into the hierarchy of numbers, or what we would say like number families. So we have our units, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, so they understand that numbers just don't stop at 100. And once we know that they understand that concept, then we use our golden bead materials and our number cards, and we actually show the students how to do the different mathematical operations using those hands-on materials. So for example, here we have a quantity of thousands, hundreds, tens, and units, and then we're physically adding another quantity, and then the students actually combine those, and once they know how to exchange or to carry, then they're also exchanging those physical quantities. So we do introduce addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division initially with our golden bead materials. So another key component of our Montessori program, and most Montessori programs, are the multi-age classrooms. Typically, there are 3 age levels placed within one classroom in a private Montessori school. That would be students in ages 3 through 6 who are preschool through kindergarten age, ages 6 through 9, which is considered lower elementary, typically 1st through 3rd grade, and ages 9 through 12, which is upper elementary, typically 4th through 6th grade. One of the beautiful things about the multi-age classrooms is that younger students learn and are motivated by observing older role models or more advanced students. And then older students, or those that are more advanced, can also learn and practice leadership skills and are able to refine their knowledge through working with younger level students, or maybe some students who need a little bit more support. And another really big benefit of multi-age classrooms is that children remain with one teacher for longer, which fosters the benefits of the child's learning, whether it's social, emotional, academic, leadership. So having those multiple ages is a big benefit